Hi, so this is the first trial of what I'm going to be speaking about at the Scottish Learning Festival tomorrow, to gauge timing and to share with everyone that can't be there. So this is OneNote Class Notebooks, which these are housed within the Glow platform, but they can be attached to any Office 365 setup, and primarily they're split into three different areas: collaboration space, content library, and the pupil's own space. You can have lines and lines and lines of pupils, but you can just right click section group and put them all in the same group, so you can have them all in one group or class sets, whatever you find easiest. I've deliberately left the OneNote notes here that just appear when you make a notebook, so that anybody that wants to see them can have a look at them during the talk tomorrow, as it will be with Tablet Academy UK, and we'll be using the devices to share everything. Any questions you can tweet me and I will get back to you. It's no spaces in the tweet name. So first off, for showing you is the content library. Inside the content library, I've tried to explain it. If you've got a school pupil server for pupils accessing resources, that's what it is, except from you don't have to be in the school to access it. Can be accessed anywhere. So much like every pupil server I've ever experienced, the pupils can't change stuff, they can't save stuff to the content library, they can only view it, they can copy it, but they cannot change it. So in this, I'll be able to change, I've got the teacher rights, whereas anybody else will not be able to make any alterations or changes. So what I've done is I've added a couple tabs here for people just to have a look at examples. Tomorrow during the day, the intention would be for people to just spend a couple of minutes, or give people a few minutes just to read through it and gauge ideas, and also start conversations on how they can see it being used in their subject. So to give you a wee run through, this is an example of advanced higher notebook that I'm using this year. So what I've got, the red text is not on the real notebook. I've added that for the point of this discussion. So this point here is I've just taken from the CAS document, the course assessment specification that's found on the Open Secure website, the Open SQA website, so anybody can access it and view it, so it's not as if it's top secret. So that's what the SQA say they need to learn. So that is the goal of the learning. Then I've got notes from Wikipedia here, all the way down. You'll notice, which I really like, wherever you get the source, it puts in a little reference, not to any reference in standard, but I'll link it to the website address so you can access it. You can also see, like, I've got another website sneaked to the bottom there as well. So I find that really handy. All of these hyperlinks, click on it, open a web page, you'll be able to access it. So this page I've structured like that. Then I've got over here podcasts, which is just audio recordings, much like I'm doing this, without the video, of me describing each thing. So if they're not good at learning through reading, but through listening to the teacher, then it's me repeating much of the same of this. And like everything in OneNote, you'll notice here, it tells you the last time it was changed, it tells you who changed it, where it was changed, how big the file is, etc., etc., etc. So you can access all of these at any point, so that you can listen to them. People's, once they've got the OneNote downloaded the app and opened a notebook on their device, they can always access this. They don't need an internet connection. So if they're going on holiday up north to somewhere without the internet, go to the dark ages, then as long as they open it before they go, they'll have the most up to date from the last time it was connected to the internet. So that's the advantage of this. So it's not relying on a live internet connection to access anything, where other services such as Edmodo or things like that, rely on a live access so that you get it, and if you're not online, you can't access it. So that's one major advantage, I think, of using OneNote. Another example here I've got is really simple, just 3D modelling. So this is me really using like a pupil server. 3 files here that the kids can copy. It's just template files for them to use. You can see I've got more pages on this one, so I've split into subcategories with just PDF documents. When you pull in a document, you get the choice to insert the file or insert printout. If you pick printout, you get this lovely printout of what it would look like if it was printed. You can also, when you any program like Open Publisher, you might notice when you go file print, one of the default printers is send to OneNote. 2013. If you do that, then you can send the file straight into here. Alternatively, you can use the insert tab and you can see here file printout, file attachment. Either would work. So that's the idea there. Again, during my talk tomorrow, I'll be giving people chances to have a look, have a chat, ask questions. So that will hopefully stretch out that a little bit. And then the last stage I've got here is possibly the most impressive. This was a colleague, John Lamb, who also came up with this, mainly to give him full credit. He was the one that made this grid, and I've stole it and use it all the time. He uses it with his class. So basically we put this in a content library so the kids can get it, they copy it into their own space. This is just a template for Nat 5, Nat 4 one. Obviously you just change it for higher or advanced higher. We just put in all the numbers, even though some courses, you might not go up to 1.6, you might only go to 1.3. So, I mean, you could very quickly change it to however you want to suit you. If you want, like, Unit 1, Unit 2, and then the outcomes within Unit 1, Unit 2. The idea being that once the pupil thinks they've got evidence of work, then they can tag it. So there is here tags, so you can tag anything, any sentence or whatever you want. We can tag it as something. So I can pick from a drop-down menu. There's a lot of ones, or I can do a custom tag. So I could make my own tag. Say this is evidence 1.1, and then put in the hyperlink. So insert link here, and then make it so that when the teacher clicks on this, it jumps straight to that piece of evidence. That's one way of doing it. The other way is just ask the pupils in their own space to have it organised in a sensible way. Like everything, I'm all ways to do it. It's whichever way you want. And then it's just a case of pupil ticks it. Once the teacher has marked it, the teacher can then tick to say, yeah, I've seen it, that's fantastic. And then we'll also put in this verification box, so a verifying teacher can then tick it to say, yep, I've seen it, I'm happy with it. One question is obviously if it's on paper, you have the different coloured pens that people say you should be using for verification to keep SQA happy. Obviously, if I type my initials in here, on OneNote that automatically records who done that and when it was done. So because I'm the author, it's not coming up, but any other stage it will say that was done, that was when. So that would be good enough. Obviously, if it's a paper copy anyway, and then you've uploaded a photo or a scan of it, then you can still mark the original. The advantage of this is it's just storing all the verification in one place. Again, depending on your department's verification policies, you could have multiple, verification teacher level, verification PT level, or curriculum leader level, or whatever. There's no harm in that, or even if you've got SLT or someone wanting to check standards. So there's lots of possibilities and options there, but it is for internal verification. It's not meant for SQA verification. So that's one thing I would highlight there. So that is my content library. The next space that I would highlight, obviously I've mentioned about the person going into their space and copying that in, just to give them an experience of copying something from one space to the other. This pupil has got preset tabs. The one thing I'll be highlighting at the very start is the structure of your OneNote when you make it. It's really, really important. You have to get it right first time. Otherwise, it's a faff to change. Like, it's really annoying having to go to 20 or more pupils and add tabs here for the different topics. So I would suggest you try and nail that right. What do you want? Do you want a homework tab? Do you want a quizzes tab here? If you're not going to do quizzes, I wouldn't have it. For making it the OneNote, there's I've got another video you can watch. You can see that I do highlight that point in that video. So that would be the sort of big point I'd be making. The big advantage is you can see when the pupils are doing the homework, how much they've done. Even if they only started, then you can see it. And if you give a homework say on a Monday and it's due for Friday, you can go on Wednesday and see how they're getting on. So if they're going the wrong way, you can then identify and say, right, okay, I'm going to give the pupils a bit more input to change and alter so that you get the task back how you want it. So that's sort of the big pedagogical support for learning, rather than here's the homework, you're on your own, like, go for it, like, good luck. So that's one of the big advantages, I think, of using the pupil's own space. And then just for storing all their stuff, I'm getting all my kids to store everything on it, so we can never lose anything in theory, because this saves, as you can see up here, it's got history, and we can see there's no previous versions of this, but you can find previous versions. So if a page has changed, then we can find previous versions of that page. So that's the big thing with the pupil space. And then the last space is a collaboration space. So what I've got here is an open space, because I know every time I've done this before, people just start typing, drawing, putting in pictures, making fun comments. So I've left a tab deliberately to do that. I'm sure we'll get some interesting things drawn on there tomorrow. The next one, for teachers and anyone that's there that wants to share the Twitter handle with everybody else that's there, so that they can have discussions, and the discussion can go further than the Scottish Learning Festival on that day, so that it can continue to grow, and people have got a network to share with, as well as, I would highlight at this point, obviously there is hashtag GlowScot, which is the handle for the hashtag for checking the Glow team from Education Scotland. Check that regularly and answer questions fantastically. So, if you need support, that's one place. There's also Microsoft staff that will tweet back to OneNote and OneNote for Education and things like that. So there's lots of different options there. Then the last two tabs I've got are examples of this year my S2 pupils. First time ever using OneNote. The very first project we done was make a logo, and again the red text here I've added. This wasn't really there, so this had the pupil's name here, which I've taken out, and then different pupils made comments down the side. Now, obviously, depending on how much focus and what you ask the pupils to write, depends what they write. My focus was really just to something positive about the other person's logo, to try and boost confidence and make it feel the class at the beginning stage in August to really we pull together, we support each other's learning. So that's the idea. I'm going to have my class doing the exact same for another task tomorrow, so it'll be interesting to see how this has changed, and I might as well try and get the same pupils' work and see how the comments change between this and then on Friday, what the difference is. This is another example, just another pupil, so another logo, very psychedelic, and then you can see again we've got some text here, and this is where we can pull in literacy and things like that into the curriculum. Obviously there's a spelling mistake here, the pupil would know it came up with a red line, so that can be, other pupils can support each other's learning by looking at that and recognising that. So that's the talk. That's my plan for tomorrow's Learning Festival. If you're there, fantastic. If this is just a recap, fantastic. We'll try and record the session tomorrow as well, but I don't know how good it'll come out. And then if there is any drastic changes, I'll make another one of these and upload it. As I said, if you've got any questions, feel free to get in touch, and really see if OneNote can benefit the kids in your classroom. I've had lots of discussions. I'm really passionate about it, along with a lot of other staff across Scotland. So there's lots of other people as well that can support you in a lot of different curricular areas. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And if you're at the Scottish Learner Festival, make sure you come along and see the chat. Cheers.